at the end of the mission, you have to fight a Slitherfang, which is a new Cobra-looking thing you see in the trailers.
Slitherfang. These fucking names for these machines, bro.
I don't know where they come.
They must be having so much fun.
5 minutes later.
I don't even know what this thing was. It looked like a bear-looking thing.
Was it called the Honey Humper? What is
That's
it?
a terrible name.
Pizza time. Pizza time. Pizza time.
You like pizza time?
Pizza time.
Ed, it is going to be our first episode. Talking games, baby.
Yes, it is. Super exciting.
Talking games.
It's been a second,
yes.
but we're on it.
It's been a minute. You know, we promised TV, games, and movies. Obviously, we focused a lot on the gaming and movies and TV, especially the movies. This year's going to be crazy has been crazy for movies, and will only get crazier. But yeah, we're setting aside some time here to talk about some gaming stuff. Ed is one of the lucky ones. He has gotten a Steam Deck. He's going to tell us what that is and how it works and all his impressions of it. I think he loves it. And then I'm actually going to talk about Horizon Forbidden West, and I'm going to kick it off. Horizon Forbidden West, the very long-awaited sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, was released it's April now. So, was released in February, almost a month and a half ago.
Has it been that long already?
Yeah, it really has been that long. And
it's been a second.
It's been a minute, and I've dropped about, I want to say 20 hours-ish into the game.
Nice.
And let me tell you something. I am very excited for the future of PS5 gaming. This game is gorgeous. The DualShock controller takes everything you know about next-gen gaming and just actually makes it next-gen.
I heard a lot of good things about that controller.
That DualSense controller, I call it DualShock. That was the last controller.
It's not a DualShock anymore.
DualSense controller is amazing. The haptic feedback when you're firing your weapons, and they have special things for you when you need to pry something open or need to work through something. It's amazing. When you're running out of breath underwater, it kind of pulses and then starts pulsing a little bit faster as you're like, yo, you got to hurry up to get the hell out of the water. It's so cool and such a revolutionary thing. It really does take games to the next generation for me. Because again, I think that we've reached a point where maybe graphics get a hair better and like a little bit better. And don't get me wrong,
the leap there isn't as apparent as it used to be.
Exactly.
From blocks to
from blocks to
for sure.
From Uncharted 1 to Uncharted 4. If you look at those two games, the leap is just insane. You're like, holy shit. This is not that. But it's the DualSense that makes it a PS5 that really gets me excited about next gen gaming. And just some thoughts really quick on the game. I didn't personally love, Ed, I don't know how you feel about Horizon Zero Dawn. I didn't personally love Zero Dawn. The story I didn't love.
Sure.
The character Aloy is fantastic and the gameplay is fun. But I felt out of the game when it was just it was just an info dump of stuff. You go to these places and you get all this information, and it's just so much information at once. It's so hard to discern what's important and what's not important, and what you need to take away to continue moving on. So as soon as the second or third time that happens in the game, I really stopped paying attention to it, and I ended up skipping all the cinematics. I just played through the game to beat the game. And then I didn't love the ending of the game because it just ended. It was weird. There wasn't there wasn't many cutscenes or anything like that. It was a very weird ending. Ed, I don't know if you agree.
I love Horizon Zero Dawn.
Okay.
That being said, I agree with your critiques on them as well. It wasn't a perfect experience, but what I love about Horizon Zero Dawn is the combat. I think the mechanics are fluid and nice. It's like one of the best fighting or combat mechanics I've ever played. It
only gets better.
And it only gets better. I love that's its strongest aspect for sure. And the other part of it that I really loved was the open world setting, and then the character design, the animal designs, or the machine designs.
Yes,
it still has one of my personal favorite moments in gaming of all time, when when the lockjaw.
Yeah.
Or sorry. What is it? The lockjaw? No. Oh my god,
Tremor
I'm forgetting
Tusk?
the name of
No, that's
the freaking the dinosaur
Thunderjaw.
machine, the Thunderjaw. There we go. Fucking great title, great name. So it's an open world game, and you can basically just traverse, and you just fall upon, animals and machines. And I'm telling you, man, the first time I saw a Thunderjaw in the distance, I was just walking, and I looked into the distance. I was like, what the fuck is that? I felt like Alan Grant in fucking Jurassic Park when he sees the thing in the first round. I'm like, what is that? It's so big. And I realized it's the fucking Thunderjaw. And things like that usually are scripted in a game. You just they want to present that to you at a certain time. Here it's just like you just fall upon it, and it was just one of the most glorious moments in gaming for me, because I'd never really experienced it before. And so to know that it's not a quick time event, it's not anything. You could either, I can just keep walking, or I can go up to that thing right now and watch it. I can observe it, or I can take it down. Yeah. And I just thought, and of course, like a dumbass, it was early in the game, I tried to take it down, I died immediately. Yeah. It was just glorious. Like that moment like solidified to me just how like awesome this game was, at least from a visual perspective, like what they wanted you to get out of it. It was moments like that I was like, okay, they nailed that. Yeah. That being said, 100% agree with you with the story. Felt that really fell flat as I start playing the game. Right. It gives it to you piecemeal, and like the main narrative just really kind of it falls apart quickly.
Comes together. Really.
And it never comes together. Right. It's interesting, right? Like I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but if you haven't played it, but it's interesting, but the way they present it to you, the execution is just poor. So love the game, but it's got some flaws, but I was very excited for Forbidden West. Right. I don't have a PS5. I've largely switched over to PC gaming, so that's why if anyone's asking, like, why haven't you played it? I can't. It's a Sony exclusive. It's not on PC yet. Horizon Zero Dawn is on PC, which gives me hope that they'll port it over eventually, but that's going to take me a little more time. And I also don't have a PS5. Right. But now I get to live through Alex and his review of Forbidden West to see what it is. So, okay. Yeah, that's the background.
So jumping into Forbidden West, that's the background on her Zero Dawn. Jumping into Forbidden West, you jump right in. There's some really cool moments of it that I really, really like at the beginning of the game, because unlike other sequels, this kind of, it kind of skips over the big old tutorial part. Like there's still a tutorial, but you're playing an actual mission that actually matters. It's not just sort of mission that doesn't matter at all. Yeah, where it's obvious. It's like here's the tutorial mission. Like it's just to get you acclimated. Exactly. Right. You have to go. This is the beginning mission. At the end of the mission, you have to fight a Slitherfang, which is a new Cobra-looking thing you see in the trailers. Slitherfang. Yeah, these fucking cool names for these machines, bro. I don't know where they come. They must be having so much fun. Yeah, there's a Razorback. I love it too. It's because they basically were like, let's just take two really cool, dope ass words and just put them together. Yeah, those meetings must be fun. Anyways, the Razor Claw, I think is what it is. Is that's the. Claw Strider. Claw Strider. That's the new Raptors. Claw Strider. Wow. I actually just unlocked the override for them, so now I can ride them, which is actually really fucking cool. That's cool. So the beginning of the game is great, and then it pretty much gives you the same weapons, the beginning weapons that you ended the game on in the first one, sort of. Which is nice because you don't have to go back and get the weapons again, So they give you the weapons from the get-go. Oh, they give you the weapons. You start with, like, I think 2 or 3 weapons in your arsenal already. And then it's not hard at all to get the rest of them, which is very, very nice. Because, again, like I think when you go into a sequel, the worst thing is you have to re-get all your weapons. And then most people that played Zero Dawn got the shield weaver armor. That armor, you're basically wearing that armor when you start the game. It's not the same armor, though. Everybody will tell you that was the most OP armor ever. You could take so much damage and do. I remember I faced I think it was Tremor Tusk. I let my ass get beat by a Tremor Tusk, and I still took it down and didn't die. And I wasn't even trying to dodge much because that armor was so OP'd. But you start with that, and there's like this little line saying, "Oh, the armor was broken," which is, hey, that's fine. That part of it I like. And then you kind of go into this opening area called the Daunt, and then it becomes information dump again. Oh no! But I have good news. So you have to pay through the first, I want to say, 4 or 5 mainline story missions. And I would absolutely recommend don't doing like go get leveled up a little bit before you jump into the main story. Because once you go through the first 5 missions and you get past the point where the whole world essentially opens,
right?
You really can't get through the whole world without playing through the first 5 missions. It's kind of locked off for you, which I believe they're doing that so you actually level up. Because once you open up the world, it turns into one of the most beautiful games I think I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
And then, and then on top of it, you get your main objective mission. And this is not a spoiler. So I'll say, essentially, you have to go recollect parts of something to rebuild something. That's basically the hint of the mission. Go find all these MacGuffins, right? And then while you're actually, something else way interesting happens while you're doing it. And that's where the story actually starts to get much, much better. But I was very, very scared that it was going to be massive information up. I was in the middle of this 2-hour-long mission. And
that's a long ass mission.
It was a long mission. And I was like, is this thing ever going to fucking end? I didn't know that this was going to be that mission either. Wow. So you start this mission and then next thing you know, it just keeps going and going and going. I'm like, oh, Lord have mercy. It's 11 o'clock at night. I'm still in this mission. I started this 2 hours ago. I started this at 9 o'clock. I thought I was going to be done. Anyway, and I didn't die once during this mission. So maybe I was just slow. Anyway, once you do this mission, you get to go out into the world and the storytelling gets so much better.
Okay, thank God.
It starts to become more human to human, which is what the first one was missing. You remember you were talking to all these AI things and you were just getting all this information dumped on you. And the guy that was like your father figure, Roust.
Roust, yeah. Roust. Rost. R-O-S-T. Yeah.
He dies before you even get a chance to ever actually develop a good relationship in the video game, at least. Now it's become so much better. You're sent out to do these 3 things that you need to do, but in order to do them, you have to go interact with people, and the story has gotten much better. And then I will say that I didn't mainline the missions because it was a little bit of an information dump. So I started doing the side missions more. And then I unfortunately realized, I can't get to this area until I do the main missions. I started doing the side missions more, and the side missions are pretty much all human-to-human interaction, which is what the first game was missing so much of. And it really does work, and it was fun. It's been way funner. that's a word. Way funner than I thought it was going to be once you get past the first mainline missions. But you have to do those mainline missions, unfortunately.
Well, can you dive in a little bit more into that then? Like what is the difference in terms? What do you when you say human interaction? Like you're going on the mission with them? Like what?
Both. So yeah, there's so a couple of the missions in the main story. Once you get past those mainline missions, you are sent on to do something with a partner, essentially. And I'm not saying like it's co-op or anything because it's not. But you have a partner, and having that partner. This is a big map and you have to cover a big distance. Having that partner walk through these stages with you is nice because you're getting tidbits of story and tidbits of information about the clans and tribes and things that are going on in the Forbidden West. And then the Forbidden West is just cool. And then there's other missions where, hey, I need this old world part, and this old world part will take you to a relic. And a relic will be Vegas.
Oh, what?
Yeah, you get to go to Vegas.
That's sick.
It's very cool. You see, I haven't been all the way out to the coast yet, but you can see in Ed's background there. Oh. The San Francisco Bridge is in it, the Golden Gate Bridge.
All I knew was that they were going to visit San Francisco, but I didn't think you visit other places.
So the Daunt is essentially is Utah. We'll just
let's give him the easy word.
Yeah. It's just Utah. You're in Utah. Yeah. You're in Yosemite.
Oh wow.
I'm sorry. Utah is not Yosemite. You're in Montana. Yosemite. Jesus Christ. I went to Yosemite last year.
Geography.
Whoops. Anyway, so you're basically in Yosemite National Park, and You have to go to the Forbidden West, and the map's very big. And yeah, so yes, awesome. you have both. You have people that will come with you on the mission and help you out, which I'm starting to find out it is important, because there are moments in this game where you're overwhelmed with people and you're overwhelmed with machines. And like, don't get me wrong, these guys aren't going to do a ton of good, but at least one machine will they're there to, take bullet sponges.
Right. And
they're there just to take hits, to take the attention off them so you can go deal with something else. But yeah, as soon as it jumps into being more about the people-to-people interaction, and there's a lot of clan politicalness, I would say.
There was some of that in Horizon and Zero Dawn,
some of that,
too,
but not enough, I'd say. Like some of the clan politics and go here and we'll overthrow this guy or something like that. That's where the game really takes off. And now that I'm in it, I'm having way more fun and I'm spending many more hours doing it.
I'm so happy to hear that, because one of my criticisms of the first game, narratively speaking, was like it really did feel like, okay, you talk to someone, but you'd probably just go off and do like some like measly mission. Like it didn't feel that vital to any of the larger happenings, particularly the main story, which you find out really doesn't have anything to do with that. I love that. It sounds like they really thought more so about how to weave all that together into something that feels more important, I guess, overall. Just like all the pieces kind of coming more better, I guess.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So looking at my notes here, it's just a fun experience. Again, after you get out of
once it opens up,
once the world is your oyster, you're allowed to just do whatever you want. And it's a lot of fun, and I've been having a great time in it. I am leveling up a lot right now. I think I'm like at level 28. You can only get to level 50. So I might be level 30 already. I'm level 30 already. So you can only get to level 50. But it does make the mainline missions a lot easier. If you want more of a challenge, don't level up as quick. Yeah. Right. So but breezing through them is good, because there are a lot of things to do in the mainline missions. They take a lot of time, and it's great.
Do you think? Do things like you mentioned overrides earlier, and like the what did you have to go through? What are those things called that you had to go to? Like dungeons, the cauldrons. So that's back. Are hunting grounds back?
Everything is back, and there's even more. So hunting grounds are back. Cauldrons are back.
I love hunting grounds.
Hunting grounds are very, very, very important in this game. If you want legendary weapons, you have to have medals, and you can get medals two ways: from the hunting grounds, and then you can get medals from the arena. The arena is you have to take down a big machine within a certain amount of time. Yeah, it's a brand new feature. I just unlocked it, and I totally did not get a medal, but the medals are important. It's the best way to get legendary weapons. But with all that said, Guerrilla Games did just release an update, a patch for this game, and I believe they accidentally nerfed the legendary weapons. Oh. They are no longer as powerful as they were, and now they're not very much powerful than the weapons right below them. So now I'm not even interested. I'm not even sure, do I need to go get them as much? Because now I was going to focus this weekend on, doing the arena and getting some legendary weapons to really make my experience funner. But maybe I don't need them as much anymore.
Wait, it was on purpose? Like they nerfed them on purpose?
They nerfed them on purpose.
Too easy?
Because they were too strong, I guess.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah, that's the only reason I think.
I ran across, I don't even know what this thing was. I ran across it and it killed me in one hit. And it looked like a bear looking thing.
Yeah.
Like imagine a grizzly bear, but on steroids.
Okay.
And it fucking wrecked me. I don't.
Was it called the Honey Humper?
What is it? That's a terrible name.
I'm just following their. I'm just following their.
It's probably called like a
name
grizzly
mechanics.
Bear. Anyway, so
the grizzly bear.
Just the grizzly bear. It looked the like
Grizz Guzzler.
Do you remember the bear in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie?
Of course.
Yes. It kind of looks like that bear when he stands up and he's like, he has the stupid arms, the metal arms, and then like he gets kicked into oblivion or something.
Oh my god.
Yeah, do you remember that bear? It looks like that bear.
Of course. Yes.
Yeah, but it's it's scary.
right.
Scary. It's fucked up. Don't mess with it, man. So yeah.
Would you say the game is better than
I would say the game is better
Zero
than
Dawn?
Zero Dawn.
Oh,
just
well,
because
that's all
the story
hear, man.
the story has finally picked up for me. I do wish it didn't take as long. And then there's another thing that I don't wish about. It is a grind.
You mentioned this.
It is a grind.
Yeah,
like you have to go out and create jobs to upgrade anything. You got to go find a bunch of shit. It is a serious grind. And I mean so in one particular way. When you kill, like if we're playing another open world game like Red Dead Redemption, right? When you kill something, kill an animal that you need for the pelt so you can create a new suit or something. First and foremost, you don't actually need to do that in the game. It doesn't actually offer any benefits. But when you have a perfect shot on it, you get a perfect pelt. When you have a bad shot on it, you get a bad pelt.
You don't get that belt, yeah.
Yeah, so it makes sense in that way, right? Here, I could hit something perfectly in the head. Doesn't matter. It's random what it gives out. And the same for machines. You have to tear apart the parts you need before you kill the machine, or else the part is destroyed. And every time you kill a machine, it's just randomized. So if you silent strike a machine, and kill it,
that's over.
You don't get anything good out of it. Any parts you need for upgrading, which I feel isn't fair. Like if I'm in stealth and I take out a machine, I should be able to at least get some sort of thing out of it.
Right. Right.
But to upgrade pouches in this game, I need owl feathers. I killed 5 owls and I only yielded 1 feather. You know, like there's no rhyme or reason to how it works. It's just random. And I really, really, really hate that. It really is bugging me. And it's deterring
frustrating.
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's deterring me from actually upgrading
annoying.
it. But you need to upgrade it because you've played the first game. You use like 80 arrows to bring down a machine. So, and you're just constantly crafting. So
that sounds a lot like the first game. There are a few missions where you had to get like a whatever heart or whatever, and like sometimes it would really feel like random. Like depending on how you killed. Yeah, depending on how you killed it or whatever. It's like hopefully in it is the thing you're looking for. And
hopefully
if it's not,
I got it. Yeah. So like that's my absolute biggest critique about this game.
Right.
It's like you have to figure out a way. I don't know how the game ends, but I'm sure there will be a sequel. But in the third one, I would like there to be at least a rhyme and reason to how it goes. Because again, I had to upgrade my pouch and I needed a hog skin. And I fucking killed 6 hogs before I got the skin.
Right.
And it's not hard to kill them. Like it's one shot dead. But at the same time, like if I shoot something in if I shoot a hog in the head, perfect shot, I should be able to yield a perfect skin.
Right.
Or something. There should be some sort of reward.
Or I would say what might be better is if that's the way that they want to go about doing it, where you may or may not get the thing you want exactly, at least they should create a sub category of items that long enough you could yield that same item with those other items. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it will take longer, but at least there has to be a way that you feel like you're at least advancing somehow, rather than I didn't get it. I'm nowhere near closer to what I want.
Right.
And
so now I got to go kill another one.
Right. So let's say like a small hide or whatever. Like you kill one and it takes like 20 small hides to make a big hide, but either you will get the big hide if you do a perfect shot, or you can collect the smaller things and eventually at least you feel like you will get it. Yeah. But let's see which comes first. At least you don't feel like it's an absolute waste of time. You know?
That's a much better idea. Exactly.
Yeah. Something I do feel like that might be better.
I have so much like meat in my pouch and stash that I'm never going to use because there's cooking in this game and you can create recipes, but I found really
you can cook now?
Not like Zelda cook.
Oh, that's not the same. Fuck. You read my mind there. I was like,
it's
Zelda
not the
cooking.
Like where you're dancing to the song.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, and then like every song, dude, I had a ton of fun playing Breath of the Wild, just throwing random shit in, wondering if I was gonna get a great thing or if it was gonna be bum bum bum. Oh fuck.
Yeah. That was so fun, dude. That game is Breath of the Wild cooking is like one of the funnest cooking games I've ever played. It's so fun.
That game, the sequel. Ooh, can't wait to pick up my.
Although it's delayed.
Actually, I'm really glad you mentioned Breath of the Wild, and I've talked a lot, and I'm going to let you talk a lot about your Steam Deck. But Breath of the Wild, it's it's the closest open world game to Breath of the Wild. You can almost climb anywhere. Almost. There's a couple exceptions, which is weird that they didn't do it. I don't know why they didn't do it, because if I can climb anywhere in a fucking Nintendo Switch game, why can't I climb anywhere
they don't want you to.
But they don't want you to, exactly. There's probably like a broken wall or something like that.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway, but it's very close to it. You have a glider, kind of like Link's glider.
Oh I remember seeing that in the trailers and stuff, which you don't get in Horizon Zero Dawn.
No. It's
can you actually use that thing to get to places?
Oh yeah, because there's several missions so far, and just the side missions where I've had to climb up the tallest goddamn mountain, and then of course the mission won't be over. They'll say, "Oh, go to here and finish the mission." So I'll just jump, and I'll be gliding my way down.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that's
that. Okay,
it's fun. I like
so
that.
It takes cues from Breath of the Wild, obviously, just in making the open world experience better. This is
Sony's Breath of the Wild.
It's learned. So do you know what's okay? I'm glad actually we were talking about this, because if you remember, Breath of the Wild and Zero Dawn came out on the same week or around the same time. Yeah, I remember this because I bought Horizon Zero Dawn, and then Breath of the Wild came out really close, like very close to each other. They're very. I don't think it was the same week, but it was very close. Look it up.
Yeah.
But I remember going, oh fuck, like Breath of the Wild is a better open world game, but Zero Dawn is really good too in its own right. And I remember that Zero Dawn got completely overshadowed because of Breath of the Wild, because it was so much better.
You were very, very, very close. They came out.
What is it?
Well, actually, you know what?
They
came out the same week.
There you go. I knew it. Yeah. See, they came out the same week.
Breath of the Wild came out March 3rd.
Yeah.
And which was a Friday that year.
2017, right?
Yeah, and Zero Dawn came out February 28th.
There you go. I remember that week. It was a tough week because I remember I bought both of those games, and I ended up playing Breath of the Wild over Zero Dawn.
I would too. Yeah.
But I remember saying to people, like, do not sleep on Zero Dawn, because it's like Breath of the Wild. Wow. It's an open world game. They're very similar. And they're both really great, but I just knew that Breath of the Wild, because I was getting 10s across the board. It was like considered the best Zelda game of all time. That it was overshadowing it, and it did, unfortunately, a little bit. But hey, I'm glad to see that Zero Dawn got its due, and now we have a sequel. It's coming out before Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah.
But I remember there was a bit of history there between those two games.
We'll have a full year of Forbidden West
before Breath of the Wild
2. I think we're getting Breath of the Wild 2. Oh yeah, they said early
2023. Which they delayed, right? They did mention that they had delayed it. That's fine.
Yeah. I think if people are fine, like, I feel like the only community that's absolutely 100% okay with delays is the gaming community. They're like, yes, take your time, get it right. Do not give me a broken game.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, because that happens a lot, particularly in this generation. We were talking about earlier that broken games and lies just run rampant. Especially
in this next gen generation, when they're developing games for several different consoles and PC. Broken games Far Cry 6 was a very broken game, and it was incredibly disappointing. They should have just waited. I love the Far Cry games, and it broke my heart. Anyway.
Yeah, and you're really only seeing it in the AAA games and the like the higher end games, like
because they're rushing it. Yeah.
Because they're rushing it. Like you see this, you still see this today in 2022, and like games like Battlefield. I know you don't play FPSs, but like big games like Battlefield 2040, whatever the fuck the last one was, absolute trashed because it was just not good.
Right.
And it's like, how does that happen? Like that didn't used to happen.
You have to fix games. So you gotta release up. I think a broken game.
Like the game, I think there's this new grind that they're really putting their teams on to rush these games out, and they're burning out and they're not making great games, and they need to stop. This needs to change, man. Like I don't know. I mean, obviously it has something to do with the gaming industry as it stands and technology advancing maybe as fast as it is. But we're not. Yeah, AAA games are like just not they used to be.
So
most of them.
This game, just to wrap this up, this game makes me very, very, very excited for pure PlayStation 5 exclusives.
Yeah.
So God of War won't be that. It'll come out on PS4. But I think
PS5.
The next one I'm personally very, very excited for is Spider-Man 2.
Sure, of course.
That has been dated for 2023. I think that's more than enough time from the very first Spider-Man game to get it done in that timeline. I'm very excited for it. I think it's going to be absolutely beautiful and bonkers and just lovely to play. And any new game coming out, anything Naughty Dog can do, I'm ready for. Pure PS5 exclusives. I know they're still kind of hard to get, but I really hope more. Yeah, I really hope they're more readily available for everyone to enjoy, because it's just, this generation is going to be amazing. I cannot wait to see where it goes. And yeah,
the last gens really didn't set a super high bar in that regard.
Not for you, right? Yeah.
Not for me. But I'm definitely hopeful after having seen the success of the PS5 and seeing these great games that came out with it. Again, the haptic feedback on the controller, I still have yet to get my hands on one. Oh, sorry, 1 second. Hold on. Sorry, someone's at the call box downstairs.
To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
Hello?
Hey, UPS for Keisha?
Oh, gotcha. I'll let you in. Thank you. This is how we let people into our building, sir.
That's pretty good. It's pretty clear. I remember our apartment was not clear at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it would be. What? What the fuck? What did you say?
Blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Just come up.
Cool. Do you need to go get it? Or?
No. They're just going to come up and get it. I just need to let them in. Anyways, sorry. What was I saying? Fuck. God damn Amazon packages. Shit. I lost my track. I forgot what I was saying.
This haptic feedback, you still haven't.
Oh, yeah. I actually haven't had a chance to. I have when you talk about the haptic feedback, I'm all giddy because I still have yet to try it. I have no clue what you're taling about.
It's so
yet every time
good.
You and anyone else talks about it, it sounds like this revolutionary thing.
Yeah.
And it sounds like I would agree with you once I get my hands on. So I got to try it out. Very excited for PS5. Very excited for PS5.
Very excited for PS5. The game gets better. Hang in there. It takes I would say it takes 6 hours of actual gameplay to get to the good part.
Sure.
So I think the next 14 hours, because I think it's like a 24-hour, 30-hour game. It's a long enough game.
The fact that you're saying that it's better than Horizon Zero Dawn that's a win for me, because I already love it, right? Like, you don't have to win me over with a new game. So if it's better, then fucking I'm for it.
There is also, real amazing locations. They built the game off of real world locations. They just made them look,
decrepit
burnt down and dead and decapitated and shit. And I've only been out sort of a little bit because I haven't gotten to that part of the game yet. But when you get to the coast and the ocean and shit,
it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. And then you can swim. The swimming underwater is amazing.
Yeah.
It gets great. That's my spiel on Horizon Forbidden West. It is fantastic.
Excited to play it one day.
Yeah, it gets fantastic. I was very worried, but it got a lot better. Anyway, we're gonna jump to Ed's now, because Ed, like I said at the top of the show this time, he has something called the Steam Deck. So Ed, why don't you tell us what the Steam Deck is and your impressions of it and how you've enjoyed it?
Okay, so I want to preface this with this is like PC land that we're about to venture off into now. Okay,
crossing the bridge.
We're crossing the bridge to PC land. This is PC talk. So for those who are on console,
not politically correct talk.
No, not sorry. Yes,
we don't do that here.
No, we don't do that here. Only a little bit.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine. This is PC talk now, so this might be new ventures for most people. I know PC gaming is still kind of like getting over a hill, but it's getting bigger. And this is one of those things that is going to start, I think, permeating talk more in the bigger gaming world, from consoles to PC. But so bear with me. I won't go too far into the tech talk, because there's a lot of fucking words and terminology that are very strictly for PC. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do know.
I'm trying to keep this. I'm going to channel and know my audience. I'm going to try to keep it focused as possible and just give you sort of an overview for what this is, because I'm telling you right now that this is the future of gaming. Like this, if you are a gamer,
that's some big words.
It is, but if you are a gamer in the larger sense, like I'm talking people who grew up with this shit, SNES, who loves playing games. Gaming is a big part of your life. Mm-hmm. This is one of those devices. This is one of those things that is going to carry that over into a space that didn't exist before.
Okay.
So let me explain what that all means now. So here we go. All right, here it is. This, my friends, is what is called the Steam Deck, developed by the team at Valve, who is also responsible for the desktop client known as Steam, which, if you don't know what Steam is, it's a huge front end platform for playing games on your PC.
It's like
it's like Game Pass, more or less. So like for those coming from the console world, it's basically the client that you use to play games on your PC, much like an Xbox is an Xbox and PlayStation is PlayStation. The difference is with Steam is that unlike Sony, who has exclusives, and Xbox, who has exclusives, they don't necessarily have exclusives. They don't make games. They just provide the games for anybody who's on PC. So you'll have they have a catalog of thousands and thousands of games dating back all the way from older games to now, to AAA games now. So that's a little bit of rundown of what Steam is and what Valve has done. But this is Valve's newest venture, and it is into the portable gaming market. This, my friends, is essentially a portable gaming PC. Really, and what Valve would tell you is that it is basically just a PC in a portable form factor. There's a lot of ways that they've been trying to market this thing, just to make it clear as to what it is, because to a lot of people from the console world probably like, oh, that's a Nintendo Switch, right? But
it looks very similar to a Nintendo Switch.
And it's very similar. In fact, I have my Switch here. Ooh, I'll show you the comparison time of form factor here. It's portable, yet it's still pretty beefy. It's a little bit beefier than the Switch. So this is the Switch right here. I'll do the Switch first. Switch, for those who know, and then I'll put it over it. No, behind it. That's the.
There you go.
Yeah. So it's almost the same, pretty much the same height. It's the width that's a little beefier, and that's because of the ergonomics of the controllers. Now, the controllers on the Steam Deck do not slide off like the Switch. But again, I'll tell you, it's not a Switch. Portability wise, it is, but everything else, this is a whole new class of gaming for people in general, not just on the go, but for gaming. So this is basically a PC. It is running Linux. For those who don't know, Linux is another operating system, much like Windows is, and much like Mac is on the OS. So it's just the same thing, but it's more widely known in the PC space. But it's basically that. Mm-hmm. So when you turn this thing on, you just have a PC. You have a computer.
Yeah.
And it just happens to be in this factor where it is catered to a portable gaming experience. So this is where like the magic starts to happen. So I know it's weird. I'll turn it on. Right now, actually, I have it on desktop mode. And actually, before I go into this, I want to give a little history about this product. So this actually it's really hard to get right now. This is not something you can go out and get. So sorry.
What isn't hard to get right now?
I know exactly, GPUs and all that. But so this is something that came out last year. It was announced in July of last year, 2020, and that's when pre-orders went live for the first time. I was actually lucky enough to get my pre-order super early, and yet they just launched this in end of February, and I still didn't get my Steam Deck the day of. Like they're releasing it in waves, just to quell sort of their inventory. But I got it within 2 minutes, the reservation, and I still didn't get it on day one. So if that just puts into perspective, like, am I going to get this tomorrow? Definitely not. If you reserve it now, you will likely not get it until like Q3 or Q4 of this year. Ooh. So, but you might if you are in the space, I think there's a good chance that you should, if you are really interested. Anyways, so I'll give you a little overview of what this is. So as you can see, I turned it on. It's on desktop mode right now. So as you can see, it looks like a desktop. It has icons. Also, it has a trackpad.
Ooh.
Really cool. And there's like the home screen and the bottom bar. I mean, it is, you can do basically anything on a PC that you want on here, on this device in your hand. Now I'm going to show you where this is sort of crossing the bridge here. So I'm going to return to what's called game mode. Yeah, I know, kind of lame, but
game mode.
It has the device has two modes. It has the game mode, it has Steam, and it has the PC mode. And so when you go into game mode, which is basically running a client known as Steam OS, it basically is it's going to give you the sort of Switch experience, making the UI all nice and uniform and really strictly for gaming.
There it goes.
There it is. Yeah. So that's it. That's Steam OS. And as you can already see, like this links to your Steam account. So if you've been buying games from Steam over the years, this will literally just load every game you've ever gotten straight onto the deck, and they're all there straight up. You can play right away. Again, for those coming from consoles, you've historically been buying games physically, or
digital download maybe.
Now you're doing digital download. Like Switch has opened up digital downloading now, so it's similar, but it's unlike that. It's a little tough on a Switch to like transfer games over, right? If you were to get another Switch, you'd have to like hopefully have a memory card or put all the games back in. Here, it's like it's all on the cloud. So like if you have an account, you can get another Switch or even open this on your PC. So it's like you start to see where all the options start to open up for you on this. Yeah, so it has two modes. So it has this gaming mode for those who are like just want to play games strictly on their Steam account. You're good. Like you can just hop on here and start playing games. I was playing God of War yesterday on here, which
how are you able to play God of War? Is it available on Steam Deck?
It's available on Steam. Steam itself, right?
Steam, right?
So,
sorry, not Steam Deck. My bad.
So I know that's a Sony exclusive, but they ported that over to PC. They ported over Horizon Zero Dawn onto PC.
Right, correct.
So those games are here, and I'm telling you, man, this is where it, like for me, this made me feel magic. Is that it's the first time in the history of gaming that anybody could do this, like playing a AAA game, on this kind of form factor on the toilet in your bed at 30 frames per second, sometimes 60. Like this is the first time this has ever happened, and that's where again, those on console who don't know about FPS and all that shit, like maybe it doesn't matter, right? But it's a humongous deal. It's massive. A huge, massive deal. Yeah. For anybody in that space to know that we have devices powerful enough to run games like that on the go. And that's just not a testament to what you can play on the go. That's just a testament to where everything is going. Everything. Right. The whole thing is pushing forward. If you didn't think it could get better, it's getting better, and it's here in consumer hands that you can just buy. Right. I mean, not readily available, but hopefully if this thing is big, it will happen sooner than you can think. Yeah. So that's that. And so that's the biggest, that's what this is. It's a portable gaming PC, but it's also just a PC. So again, if I were to go back to the desktop, anything you can do on PC is available. Some of the more amazing things you can do that maybe you don't know you can do on this is OBS is available on here. AnyDesk is available on here. All their Spotify. I know.
That's pretty great. AnyDesk. Let me log into my Steam Deck really quick here. That's fantastic. I love that. AnyDesk is a fantastic.
Very cool, right?
Yeah, it's a great little piece of technology.
Internet Explorer, doing files. It could do it, man. No questions asked, it could do it. Here's another cool thing. It only has one port at the top at the moment. It's a USB-C port. But what can turn it into a full-on PC is the fact that you can add peripherals. So you can add a dongle like this, the one I have here. Yeah. Which has multiple USB-C ports, USB-A ports, and a HDMI port. You can hook on whatever the fuck you want to this, and it will play here, like a mouse and keyboard, wireless mouse and keyboard. You can hook up to 3 monitors on this if you want. and then use this as a monitor if you want. That's available to you.
That's pretty big.
Yeah,
That's a big
USB, micro SD, anything. Like I can go off the list, but just take my word for it. If there's anything you can do on a PC, on a desktop PC, you can do that here. I have a portable USB-C drive right here, which holds my games basically, but you could put whatever you want in here and also just stick it right in, and you have access to your files. Just whatever files you want. Doesn't matter.
Interesting.
There it is.
So that's great. So give me a couple of, so now that we know what it is, give me, and you've been playing it. I think you've had it for what, 2 weeks now? I
had it for about 3 weeks now.
3 weeks now. Okay.
Yeah.
So like maybe give me some pros, cons, and then you're gonna have to talk to the people about emulation, because I don't really understand it. You've kind of explained it to me before, but
tell
them what that is. So
I'll get to emulation last, just because emulation is like a whole thing in and of itself. But the world of emulation has like taken a dump in my head, and I'm now hooked into the world of emulation. And again, this is for the people who are like just really super into gaming. If you don't already know in general, it's definitely mostly for gamers, obviously, just the form factor in and of itself. By the way, hardware wise, this is what you're looking at. It has 2 thumbsticks, D-pad right here. Here, let me go this way.
Okay, there we go. Perfect.
The buttons right there. And what's really cool about this, let me put it back here, is that here, if you can kind of see these squares right here, these are track pads.
Yeah.
So you can use it as a mouse in and of itself. And you could also map these to basically be whatever you want. I've used them as like radial dials for extra options, for extra buttons for, So they actually give you and they have haptic feedback too.
Oh, that's
so
great.
And the back has taken advantage of the new Xbox Series X Pro, but giving you 2 more trigger buttons at the back right here.
You map anything to them or something?
Map anything you want there too. And also obviously has the trigger buttons. They're classic L1 or L1 R1 and L2 R2. And obviously these also click in. So R3, L3. So these are L4, L5, R5, R4, R5. So you have like everything you need from like modern gaming on this as well in terms of ergonomics, and you can map them to whatever you want.
Dude, that's sick.
It's fucking nuts, dude.
Awesome.
Anyway, so I went through a couple of other pros already, but other pros I can think of, just advantages that you can do with this thing, man. It's almost endless. And what's great is that Valve has been updating the Steam Deck religiously just to make it better and better and better. So you can only do more once this thing gets like full on. Other than that, like, let's see, other pros.
I mean, you've kind of already said a lot of pros. Is there?
I've said a lot of pros. Oh, here. Go ahead. Any cons?
Yeah. Or if you had a pro there, go ahead.
I'll get into this one because this is actually a really big deal for perspective on console and PC gaming. I want to talk about price. This is actually a humongous pro in terms of price. So I'll go over it. So it actually comes in 3 tiers. There's 3 models, quote unquote. And it's basically difference in internal storage as well as price. The first model is 64 gigabytes in terms of internal storage. It has the second one's 256 gigabytes. That's actually mine. 256 internal SSD storage.
Okay.
And 512 gigabytes SSD storage. Those are the 3 options. And then to put that in perspective, an Xbox Series X or PS5 currently has like 1 terabyte of space, like, right? Internal storage?
Yes.
1 terabyte?
Yes. 1 terabyte. 1 terabyte.
More or less?
Yeah.
So it's not as big as that. But what's great about it is too, is that it actually has a micro SD card slot to
expandable storage.
Expand that. Yeah, which actually has really helped, and it's actually ends up being cheaper depending on where you get it. So there's that. But here's the thing. So the price points.
Okay.
Before this product came out, the performance that you're getting out of this device in a laptop format is the only place you could really get it, is in a laptop format to like run games at like 60 frames per second, blah, blah, blah. And those laptops cost easily above $1,200 or more.
Okay.
Easily. Like it's not even a question. At the top end of this model, at the 512 gigabytes, this thing only costs $649, which means even after tax, you're barely breaking $700
Right.
to get that kind of performance here. And you're basically buying a PC.
Right.
You're basically buying a PC.
Which a gaming PC nowadays is $1,800.
Right.
Starts.
I mean, a gaming PC, like a desktop? Yeah, that's freaking up to, like, mine cost $3,000, $3,500. But again, and it's a beast, and that's you're getting into like content creation at that point.
Right.
If you're talking about like gaming by itself. My model was only $530, which means I didn't even break $600 to get
amazing.
that performance that you get at a laptop in this kind of thing. And then if you really want to go with the lowest one, which only has 64 gigabytes, it's only $400. So Valve has stated that this was really painful for them, the price point, like, because they had to compete with console prices, obviously, right?
Right.
Like they had to compete with that, and they did. And and to be honest, I don't think they're making money, in all honesty. But this is all a venture to get this type of product into the ecosystem so that it gets better. I mean, Valve is a hero at this point,
right?
In this sense. But yeah, just imagine that you can have a PC like this for less than that. And a gaming console. It's a gaming console. I have a hard time describing what the fuck it is if you haven't noticed. I don't know if that's the beauty, is that it's up to you, right? It's really up to you how you want to use it. If you just want to use it in gaming mode, then that's it for you. You can use it and it plays beautifully. If you want to use it as a PC, you can do that too. And it plays beautifully for that price. If you want to use it as both, which is what I'm going to be using it for because I'm a lover of both, you can do that too. And it's in a great price point.
Pretty amazing.
So that's a huge con. That's a huge pro.
Yeah. Who
pro? Pawn.
I mixed them. I panicked. I was like, I mixed them.
Yeah. So that's a huge pro for this. Okay. So I said enough about how I'm praising it. A lot of good things about it.
Okay.
There are the cons, I would say, for this lean heavily more towards those who are probably going to try to dip their toes into the PC world of things with a device. Like, if you choose to stick with SteamOS and just play it on the UI like this and just play games, just play Steam, simple, no problems, you'll be okay. You'll have a great experience. But the moment that you try to step in and dip your toes into like using it into the PC world, going into desktop mode, setting all your things up, you're gonna run into classic PC bugs, right? That every PC runs into. So it's one of those things where it's a matter of perspective, right? If you're not used to the PC space, you will find yourself quickly getting very frustrated, probably. Like, if you're not going to put in your time to like deal with those bugs, then it's not going to be a fun experience for you.
Right. Makes sense.
Right. If you are in that world and you are familiar with that and you're actually into it, like you're a bit of an enthusiast, like I have become over the past 2 years when I built my own PC.
Right.
It's, for me, it's frustrating, but at the same time, it's nothing that I've never dealt with before. And it's just the idea that I'm doing this on this, that in a weird way, it's a bit of a pro in that sense.
Right.
But again, it's a matter of like, if you like being frustrated,
it's a matter of perspective.
Wanting to throw this at the wall, even though you don't really want to, because it's about the options it affords you. Other than that, again, other pros,
cons.
Cons. What the fuck?
Why can't we get this right?
I don't know. Other cons.
You really don't have any. That's okay.
I don't know, man. Like, it's hard. Again, depending on where you come from, a perspective. It's like, this thing is just. It's just amazing. It's an amazing piece of tech that's opening up a lot of doors and opening up a lot of options for you. I guess if I had to give one, it's that if we're talking strictly on SteamOS and playing on the games, there has been reports. I haven't personally have experienced this. However, there have been reports that certain games that Valve has clarified as very deck verified, as in that it plays well on the deck out of the box with no problems, haven't exactly been perfect, and that they've had some issues with frame rates and freezing and dropping, all of that with some games that have been verified. And that's a bummer. That's a bit, I mean, it's nothing that they can't fix. That being said, it's a legitimate problem, because if you want to look at it from a console perspective, when you buy an Xbox Series X or any of the consoles, even a Switch, you expect that when you pop in that game is going to run. Yeah. Period. Because you'd be pissed. You'd be pissed if a game you plopped in fucking
$70 worth of a game, and then
Spider-Man on the first day just didn't work on a software level, right? That's disappointing. Like, you would be like, I just spent $700 on this. This shouldn't happen.
Right. Exactly.
Well, so that has happened with a few games with Valve, and that's a little bit of a bummer for those who are experiencing it. Again, I haven't yet, but that's the world of PC. Like, you just never know. Sometimes people have it set up better. Blah blah blah.
Okay.
Well, so that's being worked out. The good news is it's being worked out, and it can be worked out.
I think the people that would understand it is gamers. Gamers understand day one patches. Gamers understand there's going to be bugs. Like we just said earlier in this episode, don't release a broken game, but also understand that sometimes things can break, and sometimes there's not anything you can do to find that except play the game. So hey, it's a game. That's why they say it's a game breaking bug. That's they didn't know about it until someone did it. So I think that's
reasonable,
fair,
right?
That's a con that's like, okay, we can get over that.
Exactly.
So now that you talk about that and how great this thing really is and amazing it is, why don't you give me just a little bit on emulation? Just a little bit, because I know some of it may not be emotional legal.
Okay. So I'll talk lightly around that.
Lightly.
The general idea I can give out, but like once we get into the nitty gritty, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, well, you'll see what I mean in a second. Yeah, plead the fifth. So emulation. So again, largely a PC thing. Although those who are tech enthusiasts know that actually emulation's been around and is available on Xbox and PlayStation and on your phones. Actually, you can do it. So basically, what emulation is emulation is basically having the capability on a PC to or any of those devices that I mentioned, to basically mimic the way that a console would play a game on a different device. So essentially that means, layman's terms, I can play old games from the past generations on a different device that isn't the device that it was originally meant on. So in other words, I'm basically playing Super Nintendo, SNES, GameCube, DS, PSP, PlayStation 1, Xbox 360, like just everything in the history of gaming on my PC.
Okay.
That's possible. If you didn't know, that's been a thing for a bit now, and it's possible to do that. And anyone who's a gamer and PC gamer knows that that's been happening for a while, and it's a big deal, obviously, for those who obviously were nostalgic and want to play old games. That you can do that. And what's even and how it works is that third-party people online create the emulator, as they say. It's a piece of software. And you basically download or strip off ROMs, which are basically images of the games that were on the disc before or on the cartridge. It's the same thing. It's just like what was on there. Now they're stripping it off, then allowing it to be played on PC. So you can download these. You can legally, what you would do is strip them off games you own.
Right.
And you should do that. That's what you should do. That's exactly what how this should be done.
Okay.
So
essentially it's a way to play a game throughout any generation, but now you can do it on your Steam Deck.
And well, now again, you could do it on your PC and other devices, but now you can also do that on the Steam Deck. And again, this is the most powerful device that has come out, in which case you could do all of that on top of the fact that you can play Steam on it. So as of right now, I actually have like a bunch of emulators on here. And if you could see, like you can't really see it, sorry, but all these games right here, some of these are being emulated completely. And I just have my whole library. Like I have Cuphead, Persona 5, Pokemon Red version, SSX Tricky, Mega Man X, Super Smash Bros. Melee. I just games from
Switch
across
games?
the
Oh,
multiverse
man.
everywhere is
Yeah.
sitting at the palm of my hand. I feel like Dr. Octopus, like the sun in the palm of my hand.
The power of the sun. Yeah.
It's just all it's all fucking here while I have a PC too.
That's amazing.
Again, so if you want, emulation is a whole nother thing, and it's just beautiful.
That part makes me very excited because it means at some point, sorry about my chair today. It's very creaky.
You're fine.
It does make me excited, and it does almost make me want to pick one up because, hey, I can emulate a PlayStation game. I can do this. I can do that. Playing old school games is very cool to me. And I know that you haven't mentioned this, but I know from research and other things that Xbox Game Pass will eventually also be available on this. Do we think that's true or be supported?
It hasn't been said straight up like Xbox Game Pass will work on the Steam Deck. Those words have not been uttered. However, Microsoft has said that they are looking to bring Game Pass to the Steam Deck.
Okay.
That being said, you can play the Xbox Game Pass on the Steam Deck. However, currently the only way to do so is to strip the deck of its Linux OS system and replace the OS system with Windows. By the way, a pro, you can do that. You can basically strip it off of everything. You can gut it out of everything and put Windows. You can put Mac. You can, again, it's a PC. You can do whatever the fuck you want. So you actually can do that if you wanted to do that. They are working on dual booting at the moment, which means you can dual boot into two OSs and switch between the two. That's not 100%. That's not out yet, but they are working on it, and I would bet money that will come. But yes, essentially, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say Xbox Game Pass will come to the Steam Deck, along with the rest of Steam, and you will be able to play. You will be able to play that. That being said, another pro that's come out in the last couple of weeks is that you can actually, if you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which comes with Xbox Cloud Gaming. Microsoft has already made it possible to use the Microsoft Edge internet browser to work on Steam Deck, in which case you can access the Xbox Cloud Gaming experience from there. And I was playing Halo Infinite the other day on there, and so that's pretty fucking rad. That's pretty rad. You can now. You can. The answer is actually yes, in a certain form. Yeah.
What I've taken from this review and overview of it and everything is that the greatest thing that this offers is basically the freedom to do whatever,
anything you want.
And that's the thought behind PCs, right? 100%. PCs allow you to do whatever you want. Yeah, sure. You have a little bit of a headache. You have to deal with
you do.
Let's be honest, Windows operating systems, but you are free to do whatever you want. You can tune your computer to run how you want. Like, I didn't know that before, I'm now on PC and stuff. I didn't know that you could actually tune your computer to run better at certain times if you need to. You jump into BIOS and you do it. So I think to me as a gamer, just generically, that's the biggest draw to this. The Switch, you have limitations. You have to play Switch games, which, look, I think there are some really great Switch games, but there are also a lot of campy Switch games.
Sure, of course.
The new Kirby games looks really fun, actually. But am I going to play it all? Am I going to play $60 to pay all of it? So, this to me, I eventually I'm imagining Uncharted and Last of Us and all those games will get ported over. But can I be on a plane one day, maybe soon, and I'm swinging through New York City as Miles Morales? That's... Ed's about to pull something illegal up, I think, but
no, I actually own Uncharted, the whole series. That being said, I am. I mean, I have it on here. Uncharted is playable. I played a little bit of 2 the other day.
That's exciting thing to do, on a airplane.
Incredibly
play
exciting.
This AAA game. Because again, if you take a long airplane ride, say we're both in California, if we go to Florida or New York for vacation or something, that's a 6-hour plane ride. You got to do something else besides listen to music. So it would kill 3 hours of time, and it would be amazing.
Dude,
that
you have
to me
your
is
whole
the biggest draw.
Your whole
game library is
your whole entertainment system's on here. I mean, You know, all of it. Like you can put music on here. You can put movies. You can play movies.
Here's a great thing. Your whole game library just became portable.
Yeah.
Like that's a hell of a sell. And I do hope it takes off. And
again,
I know
it's like,
if I tried to order one now, I probably wouldn't get one until 2023. But
it says right now, after it says October to December right now, if you were to pre-order at the moment. By the way, it doesn't take anything to pre-order. It's $5 deposit and you can cancel anytime. So as of right now, even if you were like a little iffy on it, you can throw a reservation up and you won't get it for a couple months anyways, and cancel it. But for me, if you are a gamer, dude, and if you're anywhere near like a PC enthusiast or just gaming in general or tech enthusiast, this is like it's an easy
win.
sell for me to be like, get this. Right. I think there's something here for everybody. That's what's great about it. It's like if you don't care about the PC side, that's fine. You can have a lot of fun just getting your games on here and using it as a Steam client to play your freaking games. Like that's it. You don't. It's not locking you into anything.
Yeah.
You have the freedom to do whatever the hell you want. I've spent so much time on this, dude, for the past 3. It's not even funny. Like, I don't know if I'm getting married. I don't know if I'm getting married in September. Like.
I haven't seen her in 5 days. I don't know where she went, but
it's so true. She's always like, "Are you on that again? Like, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm organizing my library. You have to understand. I'm picking out posters. This is important. This is important stuff.
Literally the nerdiest thing ever fucking said.
Dude, look how cool. I mean, this is the nerdiest thing. Look how cool this is. Just like poster art from games across SNES to now. I mean, they're all together in one place, and all I have to do is click one and press play, and I'm playing it, and then I can play something else.
You know what just actually got me excited? Buying one of these and putting Red Dead Redemption on it too.
It plays. It plays.
Just fucking like let me tell you, Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of my favorite games of the last 10 years. I know. Fucking spilled over 120 hours into that game.
Oh my God, bro.
I enjoyed every minute of it. I'm replaying it. Like when I'm get tired of like Horizon, I go into Red Dead Redemption. I would love the opportunity to take it on a plane with me. And like next thing you know, 8 hours goes by and we're landing. I'd be like, oh shit, this is amazing.
We're done. Yeah,
dude.
It's over.
Okay, I'm in. Well, I mean, you sold me. I hope you sold other people too.
I hope so too. I mean, it's a hard. I know for those who are like not in the PC space,
right?
It's a bit of a hard sell. However, who I am talking to though is more so people who are. It is still a bit of an enthusiast thing, right? Like you have to want to do more, a little bit more than just like something that works out of the box and like plays one console generation of games, right? This is you have to, when you're stepping into this, you are investing in the idea that your whole world is going to, because if you don't care about carrying more than what you bargained for in a portable form factor, then you won't care. You just it won't work for you, right? Like it just has no utility for you. Utility is probably a better way of putting that.
Right.
If you are a console enthusiast, I think that is probably the lowest level of like where am I? I think what do you call it? Getting those people's attentions could be to like catapult them into this space. Is like if you've been playing games on console, this is like it is kind of the next step, because just from PlayStation 5 is great, Xbox Series X is great, but if you see what they're doing with all these like cloud gaming services now, it's kind of shifting. I think I don't know if we're always going to have big chunky consoles. to forever now. So this is definitely moving us. This is helping us move that now into the space. It's the first step,
right?
And to be honest, it's working, man. It's just that's the thing, is like it's working. A couple of months ago, like we weren't sure, but I have yet to see anybody who hasn't had this on their hands, and it said that it's completely changed the way they play games. Yeah, they how they see playing games. It's no longer necessarily either on the couch or not. It's like almost available anywhere at any time to you now. It's really fantastic. Anyways, I could literally talk about this for fucking 6 more hours if you really wanted to. There's so much even more that I didn't mention, you know, that it could do, but I just don't want to like take up all too much time. If you want to know more, let us know. We can I can cover more if you'd like.
Yeah.
I have some B-roll that I shot too. We can probably pepper in.
Yeah,
we'll
pepper in.
Have peppered in. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, we'll show some B-roll as we go. I think that's a great place to end it for this one. Clearly, this seems like it is the future. It's going to be a big deal. I do hope you can load up Windows and you can put Xbox Game Pass, because I do think that will sell a lot of Microsoft and Xbox users on it. Dude. That sounds very exciting.
The exciting thing is like, imagine a world where they don't even have to worry about hardware anymore. Like they're just developing good games, and we have these other platforms now where we can just share both of them equally, like loving their work, and just fuck the whole whose console's better, because I think we're all over that shit. I don't really think anyone gives a fuck anymore. I really hope so. And that's the thing, you can, and what's great is that you can another pro, it has Bluetooth, so you can use a PlayStation 5 controller on here, you can use an Xbox Series X controller on here and play other games than that, so they can just focus on peripherals. Like if you want to talk about like a better game controller, get one, a PS5 or Xbox or whatever. It's like beautiful. That could be the future of like, we're not talking about like that anymore. We're talking about like what's just where we can play, you know, all the games, the best games on one device or something like that.
All right, guys. Yeah, that's the Steam Deck. Also Horizon Forbidden West in this one as well. Both amazing suggestions, both things you should try to pick up. Horizon's more available because you can play it on PS4 too. But yes, thank you so much for listening, watching, and subscribing, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Appreciate you guys. Bye.